Okay, dokie. So doing bits and pieces on your own as a hobby, loving it, setting targets because you're a crazed organizational savage. Um, how does that breathe out into start being a bit more commercial?
Ooh. My mindset in my entire life is I can monetize stuff. I want to be able to monetize whatever I do, which is a bit of a detriment at the same time because I'm like, pillows, yes, let's make this money.
We'll make sock buckets.
But like, it's I don't know. I think I was like,
What difficult subject to pick? Pillows, which are monetized by sleeping on them.
no one's done that before. I'll be the first. Yes. But like, it literally it started at like 5
Right.
car washes.
Okay.
Cool. Sponges came next.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to make a better sponge. 7-year-old Jonathan tried to cut up a load of stuff, stick it together, make a sponge.
All right.
But I've always had that kind of thing in my head of I want to try and monetize something. And if I'm doing something, I think it comes from like the back, like with our family. My dad's, he's always been self-employed.
Right.
He likes to make something, sell it, or make a living from it.
Sure.
So that mindset was always there of if I enjoy this thing,
Yeah.
because he loves tech,
Right.
so he can monetize that. How can I love photographs, video, everything. How can I now turn this into something that not only I enjoy, but I can then turn into something that can support me?
It's really interesting because I know a lot of people whose parents own businesses and they all have an entrepreneurial spirit, whereas no one really in my family. Now some aunties in law and stuff, in law step. I don't know. People, married people, family, married family, not like family I knew before they were married. They own businesses, but the people I grew up with close to me didn't, especially when I was growing up, right? They, so a lot of my uncles then went on to run their own thing. Um, but for me, the path was get a good job, get a better job, do what you like on the side too.
Yeah.
To keep this job thing going and keep yourself sane, you should do music, you should play stuff. My uncle very smartly manipulated me into getting a full-time career by being like, you're obviously going to be a rock star. Come on, there's no doubt about that. So just as a vague plan B, how about we come working 9 to 5 for this job for a little bit, like a couple of years or something like that. He's a smart fella. Because otherwise I'll be really hungry right now. But it's not something I necessarily saw growing up. Like there wasn't lots of entrepreneurial spirits in the people that I knew. And also it wasn't quite as in vogue as it has been over the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
But very interesting that, again, because you saw that, and I know as a business owner, like every minute it becomes to a degree about monetization. Like, can I take this time off because I don't have to worry about or like concentrate on or be concerned about the business making enough money? So if I can do something that's also making some cash, it's kind of cool. Okay, so you graduated from car washes, and you're doing the live streaming. How do you go out about monetizing that?
So the live streaming service itself had a point that if you had enough current viewers and enough kind of followership, it would start giving you money for those who subscribe to the channel,
The dream.
as well as ad revenue. I can play games and make money.
Yay!
Yay! Same with YouTube. It got to the point where I could monetize it because there was enough followers,
Okay.
enough subscribers, people were engaging. I'd get clicks per view. Yay! I did the thing that everyone, apparently now, everyone wants to be a YouTuber. And that was a thing. And I was like, cool, better,
Right.
more, this is cool, but bigger.
Right. Okay.
Let's let's do that, but like everywhere. So instead of just doing YouTube content, that's when I started to start messaging people to be like, I do video. You could do with video.
Ooh.
Let's do video. There's also a little bit of money on the side for that. So
Like
I ain't coming here for free.
no.
And then that's where it started to cycle. I wanted to take what I learned and honed in through live streaming and through making YouTube content, take those skills and then apply it to whatever was out there, be it a gym, a bakery, a brownie company that I did some things for a few years ago. Anything that I could, just to see if I could take what I learned and put it somewhere else. And then if I didn't, what hurdles did I come across? That was a struggle.
Yeah.
So like I learned I wanted to be able to do more slow motion. So I had to buy a better camera. learn about slow motion. How would that work? How do you edit slow motion footage to make it smooth and crisp and not look horrible, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So everything, each stage was just about making the previous stage better. And that's kind of been the path to leading to.
And how do you find it working with other people then? Because obviously, like working with World of Warcraft, you know, something that you enjoy, and then streaming that out. When someone says this is a great cake,
Yeah.
which isn't necessarily,
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah.
you might love baking, but when someone's coming at you with a different, you know, their own personal, we love this, how do you get this out for me? How are you approaching it?
It was tough. It was definitely tough, because also that world was so niched,
Right.
so specifically niched, and I completely understood what made that work.
Okay.
So that transition was tough. Like, how do I take this for me and make it work? So a lot of the
And where did you understand how it works? Because you were a World of Warcraft, you watched videos like that. You you knew which ones were great, which ones spoke to you. You and your World of Warcraft friends were like, "Oh, that you checked out this show. That's the one."
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it was all about that consumption beforehand to learn how to do things. Without, obviously, it wasn't intentional for the World of Warcraft.
No. But it's easier when you have a passion or something. It's easier to talk about, like, how am I gonna, like, I know what I need to talk about in this subject when I like it and when I know about it, right? Is when I'm informed. But obviously you can't go through that, I imagine, many years of like finding a game, playing a game, loving a game. Hang on, I might stream this game, right? You can't go through that research and learning phase with every new client.
No. So I think the first client I ever had was a gym. It was a friend's gym. So prior to that, I was like, cool, let's consume CrossFit. It was specifically CrossFit.
Okay.
And I spent, I think it was about a month prior, because we were friends before that anyway.
Sure, but like, you know, your friend does a thing and now you're going to do that thing too. Like,
And I just always consuming it, like how to watch, how to, like, literally things like how to film fitness, CrossFit Games 2019.
I love the CrossFit games.
They're so fun.
So fun. Incredibly sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just so much consumption of that. And then specifically going out to find courses online that had a subsection of this, of being able to shoot fitness.
Okay.
Because they exist somewhere, and I was able to find those kind of things.
Sure.
And like learning some people to make it look more engaging, you do handheld, you don't do tripod.
Right.
If you want to make it look smoother and like more of a less elite kind of gym, gimbal.
Right.
From that, I was like, cool. This gym is an intense elite one. Let's go handheld. Let's go for it.
Sure.
Let's get really aggressive. Next gym, they're a little bit more kind of community based. They have like older and younger clientele. They want to appeal to the whole lot.
So it's not about bomb, 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 bomb. It's now more about like, look, it's a calm
lovely
environment
place.
for everyone to be in. Right.
And then mashing up the knowledge from that to be like, okay, here is brownies. How can I shoot these brownies that make sense for people? These brownies are like, it's a lot of that kind of pre-production research.
I see. Okay. But I'm, you know, and I'm guessing here, but every time you've done that research, like you've done all the research on CrossFit and how to shoot fitness. So when the next gym comes around, it's just a case of being like, boop, this is how we do this one, because you built that base knowledge. And when you're then doing cookies, which aren't doing squat thrusts, unless they're awesome cookies. That's a nice cookie. No, so I might just be hungry. But you know, then, you know, doing bakery and being like, okay, well, when I was shooting, you know, gym equipment, there's a static thing that I have shot and I've lit and I've done that. So actually, you know, but this is a lot smaller, so I can just do research on how to do this smaller thing. So does that allow you now to then shorthand with a client when they're like, hey, I do this piece of software, or I run that investment thingy, or, you know, or a different kind of clients we sort of throw at you? Is that then give you the shorthand to be able to be like, okay, well, this is like 25% of that, 7% of the gyms, 15% of the bakery, but also a bunch of those interviews I did. And now I'm going to go and learn a little extra bit to get where I need to be.
And then I always try and leave myself a little bit of that creativity as well.
Right.
So like bring in that, this from this project, another thing from another project, specifically customized thing for this one project. And then how can I bring something from myself into this?
Right.
So for me, it's a lot about making sure shots are dynamic and moving. Right. I don't like still shots. Let's keep them moving. Let's keep them going. Even if I'm doing it in like the editing side of things as well, making sure that there's some motion in there. And that's like that specific thing is my little bit of creativity that can be like, this is your project, but I still got my nice little touch.